Hey, hey, hey! You're listening to Pod and Yan, where we talk about adulting and all its shenanigans. You know what they say, it's probably your age that tricks people into thinking you're an adult. But do you really feel like one? Only one way to find out. Stay tuned as we take a trip to when life was simpler before adulting caught us off guard. My name is Boma Bliss. Welcome to my podcast.
Hi everyone, welcome to our very first pod and Yan. And I'm super excited that I have to be the first person on this show. It's really beautiful to know and to experience. So yes, my name is Anuoluwapo or Chasula. I'll leave the English name out though. Yeah, popularly known as Ricky or Ricky Lewa. That's pretty much who I am. Let's not go into details. I'm sure you guys already know. You already know the drill.
Before Anu decides to be very humble, she's a fashion designer, an amazing fashion designer, and I feel like she's one person that when I think about her, I am super inspired because she's
Really?
not just hardworking, she's driven, she's goal oriented, and she's focused on the bag. Yeah, I really people that out there.
Secure the bag. Secure the bag. Always.
Okay, so this is the entry phase and introductory guide to adulting. And I would have to ask you the very first question, which is what adulting means to you.
I don't think anyone has a clear-cut definition for that. I mean, when you're at that phase, you just know it and you just get to experience it on the level that you best know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And I say adulting is making all the best and worst decision, trying to make headway. And for some people that are probably living soft life, I mean, it might not be the same for them. So yeah, I think it's totally it's subject to your person and your experiencing. So yeah, experiences. Sorry. So yeah, I think that pretty much answers it. So
Yeah.
for me, yeah, it's about making all the tough decisions. It's about setting your path. Setting the um uh, getting your drive on. Okay, so this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to go about it. And I mean, with the leading of God by your side, and hoping that everything works in line. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not talking too much.
Do you ever feel like there should have been maybe an adulting manual?
No, actually, because like I said earlier, I feel like there's no manual, there's no formula to it. What works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B. It's totally different. If there's a manual, that means we are forced to all behave in a certain way
Yeah.
and all expecting the same result. I don't think that would ever happen. So yeah, I don't believe in us having a manual or anything. Yeah, just go into it and figure your part. It's as simple
So
as
what
that.
you're saying is, as a growing adult, you need to figure life out for yourself.
Yes, I think
Because individual experiences.
yeah, I think adulting. I think I should have mentioned this earlier. Is you discovering yourself first. You have to discover who you are, what you are all about, and I think that would just clear the path for you, make it a lot more easier for you to figure out your purpose in life. That's how I see it. Yeah.
That's very key and very important what you mentioned
Yeah.
about finding your purpose.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people, just live life and they don't make conscious effort in discovering what their purpose is and navigating life towards that purpose. And
Okay, so
that's
I'll just go do a quick recap. I remember when I was growing up. I mean, maybe I'm just all my life I've been tagged weird, so I've just been that person that's always been wanting to be on our own, wanting to be independent. I mean, I started paying my school fees since when I was in secondary school. Yeah, off yeah. Off pocket money and this, and I'll save it up and I'll save it up. It's just wanting to. I remember even when I started my period, I didn't want to ask my dad for, "Oh, daddy, please give me money for period for pad." It's always a problem. Oh God, I wish I had money. I won't have to ask. So it's always a bother. I mean, please, girls, don't get this twisted. This sounds like the good and the bad side, because I feel like I'm suffering from the excesses that
Right.
comes with this part of me. Yeah.
Going up so
Yeah,
fast.
yeah. But what I've come to realize is that maybe because of my own strong will and being a very outspoken child, I've always known what I want to be. I've always known that okay, this is what I want to. This is the path I want to toe. And I used to say a lot that I don't think I hated suits so bad when I was growing up. I'm like, never, I'm never going to work for anybody. It's funny how life turned. And you keep saying these things. I always say, no, I'll never ever work for anybody. I'm going to own my own business, blah blah blah. And then, I mean, to think that this was even supposed to be like my plan B.
Right.
I was just meant to be a model, and no, but then I refused
Life
to
happens.
I refused to grow tall. So I have to fall back on my plan B. So yes, it's first discovering yourself, key into that, and okay, this is my kind of person, and this is the path I want to. So yeah, so I think that's it.
That's amazing. You said something about paying your school fees from secondary school.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing. I don't think I ever thought of that.
No, I mean, I think I don't know, just something I've always liked. So I'll be pocket money here and there. I'll just save it up. I love saving. I've always loved saving. From 2020 there, I will save it to buy myself a shirt, buy myself a trouser. I've always loved saving. So I think that's just an attitude I've imbibed that has really worked for me. And I'm like, why should I stress when I can actually pay?
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Kudos to you though.
Thank you.
When did it hit you that you have actually become an adult? We go through several phases of our lives, and then sometimes, we're just figuring things out and we're just exploring life, we're just living, and then we get to a point where, I have to fix up, and I have to take on that big boy pants and be grown up. So when did it hit you?
I think that would be first acquiring my space for my business.
Okay.
It was tough because I mean I was about to pay. I just finished from school and I was about to pay rent to the tune of millions, and I was like, how am I going to do this? Where's the money going to come from? And it was a lot for me at the time. I don't think I had, I think what I had saved up was like maybe 500 or 600, and I'm like, how on earth am I going to make up um this money? I think that's when it hits me. Okay, now you have to make decision. Now you have to make tough decisions to move forward. I think at that point for me, that has to be for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just tell us a little bit about your business. How did you start?
I mean, I should stop saying I mean. I'm sorry, guys. So, I've always been a fashion lover. I've always loved to see people pair up things, pair up colors, pair up. I just loved it. I grew up watching America's Top Model, always watching those fashion shows, and it's always been my dream. I mean, I thought, oh, I said it again. I thought that would be my plan B, but here we are. So I think I picked up from there, having to, I remember my sister would be in school and she called me, no, I'm going now, what should I pair up? I'm like, oh, you can wear this one, and she lists out. So what do you think? What should I wear? I'm like, I can pair this one up and that. And that's how I started. And while waiting to get admission, yeah, I think I started learning for a couple of months till I had to make a very tough decision. In fact, adulting is not. I just remember that's not even that safe. I just remember the tough decision I had to make, and at that point, I think no. Can we go back to answering that question? You're free. Yeah. So back to the question we asked earlier, which is what
was
did you?
adulting?
So I was done with secondary school, waiting to get into the university. I wrote my jam twice. I wrote the first one. I mean, it was a do or die affair. I must go to UNILAG. I wrote the first one, went for post UMA. It was 1 mark short of the cutoff. I cried my eyes out. The second one I wrote, applied this time around, but decided that, okay, let me be play safe and put Uniport as my second choice and all of that. At the time, I'd already started learning, and when results came, it's funny how they always say they will never give They will never give a Yoruba person admission, especially when you're not, it's not even the second choice.
Mm.
But anyways, I got my list. My name was on the merit list, and I got the admission, and I got in Unilag as well. That was like the most difficult decision I had to make.
Mm.
Saying that it was either me deciding to go and pursue my career in mass communication and my modeling career over staying back and learning this whole thing that I've already started. Because I know if I entered Lagos, almost leave it, I'm not gonna learn jack shit. No, I will not learn jack shit. So it was a very tough one, deciding which school to let go of and which one to go. In fact, I cried that day. I cried so bad, knowing fully well that okay, so this is what I'm going to do, and so I let go of that. So yeah, back to this the next question. So yeah, from there got into school and I started doing small. I started with babies. Had my niece at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just used to make things for them, pay up this, pay up that, do that, and then just make things for myself. Until one day my aunt came to visit me in school and then packed a lot of lists and then dumped at my place and said, I don't know how you're going to do it, but please, I need this for Anashebi. I promise you, yeah. I promise you for a month. I kept staring at that fabric. It was a very expensive, beautiful lace. Green, white, if I remember, cut lace, beautiful. And I'm like, how am I going to do it? I'm going to spoil this clothes. Every day she's going to Alpha, no, is my Chevy ready? Alpha, is my Chevy ready? It's for me and your sister. That kind of time, like, hey, God, what am I going to do? It took me months. And if you know me, you know I'm a very fast person. I can be in a place and make about 4 or 5 outfits, yeah, in a couple of hours. But it took me months to do this. I kept opening, loosening, and I mean, at the end of the day, it was very beautiful. And I think that's where I got the confidence to start. And I started making things for her. She was a doctor she is a doctor at UPTH and started wearing most of my design. And everybody, who's your tailor? Blah, blah, blah. And that's how I started. And before I could say jack shit, I was making clothes for most of the doctors in school.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, at the point of, I don't even think, I didn't have any students. I had one that could afford me though.
Okay.
Yeah. One that could afford me. And that's how I started making clothes from school, receive lectures during the day, come back home, step on my machine, and repeat. Yeah, so that's how we started. And here we are.
Right. I think there's something I picked from this entire story is sometimes when you start, it doesn't start easy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it prolongs because you need to take on that process. You go through a process of learning, adjusting, getting to know something that you love. And then after you're able to get through the finishing phase and then you do the rinse and repeat, you become an expert. That's it. I think that's what I got from the entire story. And something else is our inspirations come in different ways. People inspire us to do the things that we want to do, but then we're scared of doing them. So that's an amazing story, though.
Yeah.
I know we always call your aunt sometimes and be like, Auntie, thank you so much.
Of course, you know. I always tell her, like, every time I have the opportunity to say that, I'm like, thank you for pushing me. Because I mean,
if I hadn't done that,
eventually I would have, but it would have taken me a longer time to,
longer
if she had not given me that appropriate push at the time.
Yeah.
I needed it yet. So.
That's beautiful. And what's her name? So we can give a shout
out.
out to her.
Yeah. Her name is Mrs. Bumi Ajala.
Shout out to Mrs. Bumi Ajala for pushing our very own Owekelewa that's going to definitely become a household name.
Yeah.
In Nigeria and beyond.
Yes, internationally.
Internationally. Yeah.
I mean, we're international already.
Definitely.
So
that's super amazing. Thank you so much. So how would you say adulting makes you feel? Deep breath.
Deep breath. So I'm not gonna lie, it has beautiful sides and it has there are days whereby it's just frustrating. I mean, as an adult, you have the freedom to do and undo. After all, whatever happens, you have yourself to bear the consequences. Yeah. And there's the part that you're just tired and back down mentally, and
Yeah.
you just I always say like I feel like I need to crawl back into someone's room and be born again because yeah, I'm like
Emphasis on the born again.
yes, emphasis on the body because I'm like, what is all this madness? And it's like every day there's no breathing space from one thing to the other.
Another.
You think you are solving this, oh I'm done with this phase. Before you know, next phase will eat you and be like, how about now? I thought we left this behind. So yeah, I think it has its beautiful and ugly sides, and you just have to all embrace that, embrace the
So
good and bad.
yeah, so in general, adulting feels like a lot for
It
you.
is a lot.
Mm,
It's a lot.
mm,
And for someone like me, that I mean, I always say this. Maybe I'm a bit too hard on myself. It's always a lot because I feel like, oh, you can do this, you can do better. Why are you doing this? So it's
mm.
a lot of pressure on my own self.
Yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to external pressures. So yeah,
Mm.
it's a lot. It's a whole lot. But I mean, that's not to scare anybody. Please grow and enjoy it. Yeah, I made a post recently, no, a while back, last year, about growing up, adults. I don't know if you saw it, and I talked about how um, I feel like I missed a lot. I missed out on a lot while growing up.
Of your childhood.
Yeah, because I was eager to be an adult.
Mm.
If I had known, I would have enjoyed every tiny bit of it. But I can't go back. Like I remember I was oh my goodness, I can't wait to leave, I can't wait to start working. I'm like, if I had known, I would have just enjoyed that phase and be collecting money. All that money I'm saving to pay school fees, I would have just been eating it and going fat. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And now that I have all my years to keep paying school fees till I'm tired. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So basically, just relish every stage, enjoy every phase of growing up, enjoy every phase of your childhood, your adulthood, and just enjoy.
Mm. What would you say is your wildest adulting experience? I feel it could be different things for people, right?
Okay.
And as we grow and we evolve, our wildest
Okay.
and craziest adulting experience would probably, evolve as well. So for now, so far, what would you say is your
So
wildest
for now,
adulting
I
experience?
think that would be a time. I mean, very very recent though. It was a time in my life whereby I think it was like the most difficult period in my life. I was faced with I was at that point in my life that I felt like I was in a box.
Mm,
I wasn't moving forward. I wasn't moving forward. I wasn't going back. I
mm,
was just in a fix, and it feels like I was going round and round and round the circle. So I'm that person that I know I've changed my hairstyle. I've done all manner of things to myself. Like anything that I can change my body, I'll do that because I get tired of things easily.
mm.
So for me, it was frustrating to be doing the same thing over
Over
and
and
over
over
and over
again.
again, and it was frustrating. I was always beating myself up. I would go online and see things that would make me feel even worse, and I would stay there. And to now top it up, I think I had the worst heartbreak at the time. So it felt
Mm,
like every damn thing it felt like the world was caving in on me.
mm,
And it was pretty much was weird. It was crazy. It was a lot. It was a lot to deal with at the time. So I mean, but I'm thankful for family. I'm thankful for great friends.
mm,
I was or I am moving past that stage. It's a gradual process. If I say I'm totally out, I'll be lying. It's a
mm.
gradual stage. I'm gradually moving forward, trying to figure out my way out of that. I like to call it shit hole.
Mm, mm,
So
mm.
yeah, just moving out of it, navigating every day, taking each day. How do you say it? Taking a day. How do you say
One day
that?
at a time.
One
Take
day
it
at a
one day at
time.
a
Yeah,
time.
yeah, one day at a time. I think that has to be it. Mm.
Mm. So I was going to say,
Okay.
would do a little bit of digressing. Yeah, I know you made mention of putting pressure on yourself,
Okay.
to do certain things, and there are a lot. I think there are lots of people too who feel pressure, like putting would I say self-inflicting pressure on yourself
Yeah.
to figure life out. What would you say to them? Do you think it's really a good thing or it's a two-way street?
I mean, I would not target a two-way street, but so I'll put it this way: it's important to push yourself, but just like in life generally, there are boundaries.
Yeah.
And I've come to that conclusion, having been there, done that, and I've realized that one thing, and I'm going to say this, not to bother myself about things I don't have control over. I've realized that I worry myself, I put, because no matter how the amount of pressure I put on myself, I can't change that thing.
Yeah.
So it's just a pointless journey. I'll keep torturing myself and nothing will change and the cycle will continue.
Yeah.
So it took me a while to get to that point that, okay, fine, you don't have control over this. Why not focus your energy on things that you can change or at least effect some form of change and let this one slide or just leave it to God that will probably sort it out and just take your mind off it. This sounds very easy, but it's the most difficult thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the most difficult thing, but for your own sanity and your own mental health, it's important to let go. So I mean, when you're at that point where you're taking, I always say it whenever the pressure is a lot, and I'm at that point, I just say to myself, no matter what, no matter how crazy that problem might be, no matter how crazy the client might think he or she is, or no matter how pressing it is, at the end of the day, you will sleep and wake up, and that thing is gone.
Yeah.
And then you look back and be like, why was I worried?
Why were you putting so much pressure on yourself?
Why?
Yeah.
So take deep breaths, do the things you can do. If this is what you think, okay, at the point this would help or effect any form of change, you do it. And have it at the back of your mind. And this is what I tell everybody. Make sure that you do everything in your capacity. Everything let me look back and say, okay, I did my best. It just didn't work out. Yeah. So I think that's it.
And this is amazing conversation that we've had so far. I think there's something I've come to realize, about adulting, especially when you're like in your 20s. The struggle to figure life out becomes so glaring.
Yeah.
You're like confused on what exactly you want to do with your life. So what would you say to people who are getting into that phase of, figuring life out for themselves?
I think I said it initially, which is first thing, know yourself. Second, try and draft out a path and don't deviate from it. That's the thing. You go on social media, you see things, and you'll be like, oh, what's going on? And always remember that people's race, everybody has their own race to run. Because it happened like this for Mrs. A doesn't mean it will happen like this for you.
Yeah.
You have to just trust your process, trust your own journey, and believe that it will work. I mean, put in the hard work. Don't be there and be lying down on your bed and say God will answer. God will not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that work is dead.
No. Yeah, very well. Yeah. So you have to do the work. Put in the work. Go about your business. Just I don't know. Seek for direction. It's important. Go to God in prayer. Seek for direction. And I think my last advice would be to look for that person that inspires you, more like a mentor. It's important to find that one person that you can always look up to. And when I say look, I'm not saying be envious and say, okay, I want to be like this person verbatim. No, you are you. You can only say, okay, this person's ideals tallies with mine in some areas, and you want to just follow the path, not just follow the person's path, just watch and learn from their own experiences too. So it's very important to have that.
Yeah,
I think that's about it.
That's really insightful. So you said something about social media. I don't know, we didn't grow into social media. We were born and then social media came. Um, the journey of having to now see a lot of things on social media, because before then, the experiences you have and the things you see were limited to your immediate environment, right? But now you can see something happening in different parts of the world. How do you think that's affected, our growing process in today's time?
I mean, of course, it has affected it a lot. It's a lot. The fact that you can be here and you're watching what's happening to why do I keep saying Mrs. Miss or Mr. B in a different time zone entirely, and it's affecting you. It's the society that, whether we were born into it or whether social media made us here, it's our reality now.
Yeah.
And I think it's just the only way out of this is learning how to manage and realizing that, okay, it is what it is, and not always believing everything you see on social media. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, some are true and some are just fake.
Yeah.
And I always say this. I when I'm in that phase and I'm down and people say, "Oh, you're doing great. You're doing. What about this one that didn't do?" I don't. I despise that because I don't see why I'm in a state and I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong. It's good to reflect and say, "Oh, this is where I was, and this is where I am now. I'm grateful to God." But I don't like when people go as far as saying, "Oh, that person compare," and then when they even compare, they don't compare with, you compare with people that are not doing so well. And like, look at that person now. It's not within the same. So don't feel bad. You're on the right track. And in my mind, I'm wondering, the ones that are doing excellently well, do they have 100 heads? They don't. So why won't I compare myself with them? I mean, so that's how I look at social media. In that, this person is doing very well. It's the same head I have. It's the same head that person has. So why is my own different? Why am I short in this aspect? So like I said, you just have to understand the boundary, understand where to draw the line. It's good to look at people and say, "Oh, beautiful! I would like to have this life. I would like to do that." And putting the work on your own end instead of being envious and you want that life already. When you sometimes say you don't even know how that person started, you probably just stumbled on that person's page. Meanwhile, the person has been there
For a very
forever.
long
So it's
time.
like maybe it's not maybe very soon this brand grows bigger than I've ever thought about. This brand is global and it's everywhere. And some baby or some child that is maybe like 20 something or grows up and this lady, she's my inspiration. My goodness, she's good. I can't wait to be. And you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, and you don't even know how I started. You don't know how long I've been in that business, trying to find my paths, all going from making mistake and going in circles till I got to that point. But because you just recently just stumbled on my page, you feel it's all rosy because obviously I must have deleted the previous one. So that's the mistake, everybody. I don't think I'll do that, but I mean that's the mistake other people do too. You want to focus on the success and you take out those parts of you that describes and just encapsulates your journey. Yeah, so it's important that we learn to draw that line and just trace or admire. Don't be envious. Don't say, okay, this is what I want, and you are now looking to right, left, and center and trying to be that person. And meanwhile, you don't even know that person's journey. So yeah.
So in essence, you're saying that they should just follow the process.
Yeah, follow your own process.
Follow your
Follow your
your
own process. It's
journey.
important. It's
Yeah.
okay to go online and seek reference.
Yeah.
This is the person I want to be like, or this is what I want to, this is where I see myself. Go online and then tap into it. Oh, I want this for myself. But don't let it get upstairs and don't let it force you to do things that
That you're not supposed
yeah,
to
that you're
do.
not supposed to do. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Anu. Thank you so much for joining us today. It has been quite an interesting conversation with you.
It has.
I'm going to know certain things that I had no idea about, and we are going to discuss outside here, obviously. So what last words would you give to listeners?
I feel like
You've said a lot.
yeah, I've said a lot and I've touched down on a lot of things, but I'm still going to emphasize basically on. I mean, would it be a podcast with me without me using the word basically? So I'll make emphasis on one. It's important to always find yourself. I think that has helped me anytime I'm in that phase. I'm reminded of Anuoluwapo. This is who you are. this is the path that you've chosen for yourself. Don't fall off the rail. It's important to know yourself. It's important to find purpose for your life. Okay, what do I want to do with my life? Because I mean, as a child, I don't know, they used to call me grandma because I always would think, okay, so I go to school, I come back from school, I come out with flying colors, I go back to school again. So after, I think about, so if I get married now, I give birth to children. So what? Is that what life is about? Just different stages of trials and different stages of achievement, and you looking for more achievement. So for me, I know for a fact that what would be that thing that would make me happy? What would be that thing that I want to take out of life and say, okay, yes, this is it for me, which is finding purpose. And what's my purpose? Impacting in people's lives. Yeah. Just find your own purpose, whatever works for you. Anytime I think about, oh, this is where I'm going to, and I think about, oh, I'm tired of my business and I want to quit, I'm reminded of my purpose. This is what you want to do. If you quit now, how do you intend to achieve this? So all of this it looks, or it feels scattered, but it's intertwined. Find yourself, find a purpose. It brings you back. Find your passion. It's important for anything that you do. You need to be passionate about it because that's what will keep you going. There are days you just want to quit. There are days that it's just so frustrating and you're just crying and it's not a bed of roses. That purpose or that passion is what will ignite that fire. This is why I'm here in the place. This is why I love doing what I'm doing. That is what will keep you going. And yeah, just be you and enjoy every bit of the process of growing up. Enjoy it because you actually can't take it back. You miss it, you miss it. So enjoy it. If it's at the face of, oh, trying to find my purpose, enjoy it and try and make headway from there. If you're at the face of, oh, I'm finally digging it, I'm finally living the life, enjoy that and make progress from that. Just every phase of your life, enjoy it.
So thank you so much, Anu.
Thank you too.
So guys, you have heard from our guest today, and as she has said, as she has reiterated, knowing your purpose is important as you're navigating this phase of adulting. And then also exploring your journey, because your journey is definitely going to be different from someone else's journey. Everybody has their individual paths. That's why there isn't exactly any manual for adulting. The only thing you can do is ask for insight from someone that has already been there to help you with navigating the process, because everybody's journey is different. And then we also eventually got to the point where we said, take it one step at a time and enjoy every single moment, because you will not get it again.
So the experiences are different too.
Explore every single moment, enjoy it, live in the moment. Thank you so much, guys. And as we put a halt to today's episode, I would like to say this. I saw a quote somewhere on social media, and I think it's important that we know this in our adulting journey. Now, it said, if you're not intentional about deriving joy in the little things, the struggles of adulthood would make you grumpy and miserable. So thank you guys so much for today's episode. I hope we touched every single thing that you have been experiencing as a growing adult and trying to navigate and figure out what this adulting means. I mean, it gets tiring and it gets interesting sometimes and absolutely so boring sometimes, but I mean,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. So thank you guys so much. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to Pod and Yan. If you enjoyed today's episode, please follow for more. And don't forget to share with your friends. Got a burning question you like answered? Join the conversation by sending a voice message. See you in the next episode.